Now, it's been 70 years since the Blitz hit London during the Second World War, and one of the area's worst hit was the East End. Mick Lemmerman has recently published a book about how one area coped with the war. It's called The Isle of Dogs During World War II, and Mick joins me now. Mick, why did you want to write this book?
Because I've been studying the history of the island for a long time now, and I realised what a pivotal moment it was. Until that time it was a fairly stable community. Not much happened apart from the industry and the docks, but that really changed everything. That was the start of some changes which you're still seeing today.
What are some of those changes?
Well, one big change was all of the communities were destroyed. You know, the old street patterns, many families moved out, lots of the old island families, they went away. It really, I mean, what you're seeing with Canary Wharf and everything now, that's indirectly a result of what happened during World War II.
It was, it's also, you know, the whole of the East End, there's a reason we see less sort of Victorian architecture there, is because it got hit so badly by the bombs. How are the Isle of Dogs affected by things like the Blitz?
Particularly badly, actually. Poplar itself, which is a wider area, was one of the worst hit parts of London, and the Isle of Dogs was the worst hit part of Poplar. I think something like 65% of the houses were damaged or uninhabitable by the end of the war. The population dropped from 1939 to 45 from 21,000 to 9,000, to give you an idea of how much it changed. Virtually everything was destroyed as far as residents were concerned. West India Docks, Millwall Docks, they rebuilt a lot of stuff, but I think at any one time half the dock buildings or warehouses were out of action.
Just extraordinary. I think one of the issues, of course, with researching something like the Second World War is an awful lot of people are no longer with us. Was it hard finding people with good memories who could tell you stories about that time?
Well, I was fortunate because there's an organisation called the Island History Trust, and they've gathered a lot of narratives from people over the years, which I could refer to, plus the diaries of a certain Bill Regan, who was a rescue worker during the war. And I've managed to map that to facts that you can get from the National Archives, for example, or the Imperial War Museum. So actually there was no shortage of information. I wish I had more time to put more in the book, because it's out there, but I did have a feeling better tell this story now, because
Sort of London over this period has changed, of course, enormously, but how do you think the modern Isle of Dogs looks when you compare it to that of World War II era?
Incomparable. It's not the same place. Even people who have only been off the island for a couple of years, they moan that they're getting lost when they come back on. It's absolutely not the same.
But you've recorded the bit that was there in your book. Mick, thank you very much for coming and talking about it. Mick's book, The Isle of Dogs During World War II, is out.